Coming up, a complete look at the Disney dining plan and how to best use it. Disney presents Beyond the Kingdoms. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's main show of Beyond the Kingdoms. Like always, I'm your host David, and today I'm returning to a topic that I've discussed before in the past and want to relook at, the Disney dining plan. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon so that you never miss an episode. But let's roll up our sleeves and take a deep dive into how the Disney dining plan works and, more importantly, whether or not it is worth your money. Let's start with the basics. Think of the Disney dining plan as a way to prepay for your meals while on vacation at Walt Disney World. Based on the number of nights you're staying and which dining plan you choose, you are given a select number of meal and snack credits that can be used throughout your vacation. The dining plan is accepted at virtually all the food locations throughout the resort, and you can use them in whatever combination you like. For example, you're not restricted in using just one credit per day. You can use 2 meal credits on one day, 1 credit on another day, and use all of your snack credits all at once on the last day of your trip. The credits are completely flexible. But the best part of the dining plan is that you pay for it upfront before you travel. I think of it as something very similar to going on most cruises. Once you arrive to Disney World, almost everything can already be paid for. You can tune out and relax for the duration of your trip. If you're one of these people who visits Disney World once every few years, this could be a great option for you. You can book an entire vacation with the dining plan, prepay the entire trip in installments, and have the peace of mind that the hotel, tickets, and meals are all paid for when you arrive to your hotel. But like everything in life, there is always the fine print. There are lots of little details to keep in mind that will determine if the dining plan is worth it to you and your family. And since I'm all about combing through the smaller details, I'm here today to highlight some ways to absolutely maximize your use of the plan if you choose to purchase it. First of all, I get asked all the time who can get the Disney dining plan. And the answer is relatively simple. Anyone staying at a Disney-branded resort, from deluxe resorts like the Polynesian to value hotels like Pop Century. They all offer it. However, this means that select hotels on Disney property run by third-party companies do not participate in the Disney dining plan. If you plan on staying at one of the Disney spring resorts, such as the Hilton Orlando, the Holiday Inn, or the Bee Resort and Spa, you cannot purchase the dining plan. The same goes for the hotels in the Bonnet Creek area, where you'll find the Wyndham Bonnet Creek or the Waldorf Astoria. And finally, both the Swan and Dolphin Resort are also excluded from the dining plan. Now, many of these resorts do offer the 60-day Fast Pass reservation window, just like the Disney-branded hotels. But as of right now, the dining plan is out. Now, there are 2 ways to purchase this dining plan. One is when you're booking an entire package at a Disney hotel along with tickets. If you book a package with hotel and tickets and exclude the dining plan, you can add it later on, but it has to be before your trip. For my annual pass holders, you too can purchase the dining plan, but again, as long as you're staying at one of the Disney hotels. As a pass holder myself, I book room-only reservations at Disney all the time. However, if you're making a reservation online and you book a room on its own, you won't be allowed to add the dining plan unless you purchase tickets. And since annual pass holders don't need to buy tickets, you may be wondering, how do I add this to my vacation? All you have to do is call Disney directly after you've made the booking. And finally, the third big question you may be asking is, what does the dining plan actually give you in terms of the amount of food? Well, this is where things get a little bit more complicated, and there are lots of factors. First of all, No matter which dining plan you choose, the number of credits you receive is all based on the number of nights you stay at the hotel. Additionally, all of the dining plans also come with a refillable mug that can be used at the quick service locations at all of the hotels, but more on that later. But the different types of credits you get is all based on which plan you choose, and there are a total of 3. The entry-level plan is called the Disney Quick Service Dining Plan. This plan will give each member of your party 2 quick service meal credits and 2 snack credits per night of your stay. Therefore, if you're staying 3 nights, each person will get a total of 6 quick service meal credits and 6 snack credits. This plan will cost $52.50 per adult per night and $21.75 per child 3 to 9 per night as well. The next option is the standard Disney dining plan. This is the most popular one, and this will give each member of the group 1 quick service meal credit, 1 table service meal credit, and 2 snacks per night of your stay. Again, the pricing on this is $75.49 per adult per night and $25.75 per child per night. Remember, a child counts as anyone between the ages of 3 and 9. Once a kid is 10 years old, they're classified as an adult. Finally, the Granddaddy plan is called the Deluxe Disney Dining Plan. This higher-end option will give each member in the group 2 snacks per night, but offer 3 meal credits per night. The kicker here is that the 3 meal credits can be used interchangeably between quick service locations and table service locations. So that one offers a lot more flexibility. This deluxe plan will cost $116.26 per adult per night and $39.99 per child per night. And all of the prices I've just mentioned include tax, but not the tip. That one you'll have to do out of pocket when you dine at the restaurant. Now you can choose any of the 3 plans no matter which hotel you stay at. You can choose to save money on the hotel and stay at a value resort, and splurge on food and get the deluxe dining plan. Now, there are times when Disney runs a special promotion and you can get the dining plan for free. This offer usually means that the hotel you stay at may limit you to only a specific level of a dining plan. But I will get into that at the end of the episode. Now, before we get into some of the great ways to use snack credits and meal credits on the plan, let me highlight some changes since the last time I discussed this topic in early 2017. Some of these changes may sway your mind into purchasing the dining plan, because they certainly add more value to the overall program. The inclusion of alcohol certainly piqued my interest when that was added to the plan earlier this year. First of all, we have changes to snacks. In previous years, guests were given 1 snack credit per night of their stay. This was true across the board in all of the plans. But in 2017, Disney changed that and removed dessert from all the quick service meal credits to give guests an additional snack credit. This is why now everyone gets 2 snack credits per night. Quick service meal credits now include 1 entree and 1 beverage. But those of you with a sweet tooth, remember that dessert is still included with the table service meal credits. The second major change to the dining plan happened earlier this year. In the past, all the meal credits, meaning both quick service and table service, entitled guests to a non-alcoholic beverage. So, if you wanted to enjoy a glass of wine, you had to pay extra for that. But in 2018, Disney updated the plan so that guests 21 and over have the option of getting either a non-alcoholic drink or an alcoholic beverage. For the most part, a lot of alcohol options are included here. You can get a glass of wine, a beer, and even some specialty cocktails. Now, some locations do offer some higher-end spirits and cocktails, and some of them may be excluded from the plan. But that varies from restaurant to restaurant, so it's always best to ask your server when you're dining. Of course, entire bottles of wine are not covered in the plan, nor are specialty cups like the ones found at Trader Sam's. But the inclusion of alcohol means that the general price of the plans went up naturally. But for those of you who don't drink, don't worry, because your non-alcoholic beverage options have improved a little bit. As opposed to just soda, tea, and coffee, guests opting to skip the booze can choose non-alcoholic specialty drinks like artisanal milkshakes, fresh smoothies, and premium hot chocolate. Again, souvenir cups are not included, you'll have to pay for those. But I find that depending on what entree you choose, even sticking to just soda means you still can get your money's worth on the plan. However, getting that special milkshake, which will cost more out of pocket than a Coke, will certainly mean you're getting your money's worth. The price hike isn't as bad as you may think, but all of that depends on the specific choices of food you make and the restaurants you select. Which takes me to my next segment. No matter which plan you choose, whether or not you drink alcohol, making smart choices when it comes to specific dishes and specific restaurants will either make the plan worth your money or not. So let me share with you some simple tips that make sure you are really getting the best bang for your buck. First of all, let's talk snacks. Disney has really improved the variety of snacks found all over the parks in the past few years. And the upgrade of getting 2 snack credits per night from 1 really has been a big bonus to the plan. There are dozens of quick service locations that have great entrees but just mediocre desserts. So removing dessert from the quick service meal means that I can eat a burrito at Pecos Bill and jump over to Aloha Isle to get a Dole Whip for dessert, using my extra snack credit. I think this change provides options and great flexibility. This also means that you can space out your food intake as well. I sometimes like to enjoy a quick service meal, walk it off a bit, ride some rides, and then get dessert. If you're someone who doesn't eat huge meals all at once and snacks all day, again, these changes may work really well for you. But the major tip I have when it comes to snack credits is to aim for the snacks above the $5 mark. Recently, Disney World hiked up the prices of standard snacks across the board. Almost all of them are now $5 or more. But famous snacks such as Dole Whips are big in size and cost about $6, an even better use of a snack credit in my book. If you want to know more about specific snacks that are well worth your credit, definitely check out those Foodie Friday videos. I always highlight which treats are worth snack credits from both a financial point of view and a size perspective as well. Another good use of snack credits can be at one of the Starbucks locations. Nearly all of the coffee drinks at the 4 Starbucks locations in the parks are eligible as a snack credit. And we all know that you can easily hit $5 on most drinks at Starbucks. You can get that venti white chocolate mocha that is normally about $6 and use a snack credit here instead. Now, I personally prefer Joffrey's coffee while visiting the parks, but to each their own. And finally, a third fantastic use of snack credits is at Epcot. Epcot now has 4 festivals throughout the year. From the end of August all the way to the end of May, Epcot is hosting some sort of seasonal event. So chances are that when you visit the park, you'll want to try some of the unique dishes offered at one of these events. Nearly all the dishes offered at the events now qualify as a snack credit, and many of them are well above the $5 mark. So if you're visiting during an event like Food and Wine, I would definitely save up some of those snack credits for your Epcot day. Okay, next up, we have quick service meals. For those of you new to the Disney lingo, a quick service location is a restaurant where you order your food at a counter and take your food to your table by yourself. Basically, it's any restaurant that doesn't involve a waiter bringing your food. Think of places like Pecos Bill in Frontierland or Sunshine Seasons in the Land. And a quick service meal credit will get you 1 entree and 1 beverage. This applies to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, if you're wondering what's the best way to get your money's worth on a quick service meal, your magic numbers are 18 and 10. When you look at a menu at a quick service, remember that adults will be saving money if their meal comes out to anything above $18 after tax. And the same goes for $10 for kids. If you hit these numbers, you really will be maximizing the use of the credits. For the most part, this is a really easy number to hit, with one exception: breakfast. If you're a hardcore planner, look up some menus and crunch the numbers, you'll notice that you'll be hard-pressed to find a quick service restaurant that offers breakfast at $18 for the adults. Most breakfast platters at the hotels will cost around $10. And even if you buy a juice or coffee, you still won't hit that $18 mark. And this is when you must remember that refillable mug, which is included in all of the dining plans. Those mugs allow you to get any fountain drink at the quick service locations or even coffee. So, if you use your mug for coffee and order a breakfast platter, you may want to consider paying that out of pocket and saving the credit for lunch or dinner. The same even applies to the quick service restaurants in the parks as well. Take Sleepy Hollow Refreshments, for example. The most expensive breakfast entree here is the egg and cheese waffle sandwich at $8.99. If you get yourself a regular coffee, because remember, those mugs can't be used inside the parks, you'll have to add $3.29 to that bill. Even after tax, you still will be under the $18 mark. This is why paying out of pocket for a quick breakfast is wise, or simply use a snack credit for a smaller breakfast item. I personally love to have breakfast at the Patisserie in the France Pavilion at Epcot, especially on my World Showcase day. You can get an item such as the ham and cheese croissant as a snack credit, and it's a great way to jumpstart your day. Now, it normally costs around $4.75, but after tax, you're close enough in my book to the $5 mark, which makes the snack credit use worth it here. And this means that you can save that meal credit for later in the day. And remember, if you find yourself with a spare quick service meal towards the end of your trip, you can split that meal credit into 3 snack credits. That again could be really handy during those Epcot festivals. Finally, we have table service meals. Like before, if you're new to that Disney lingo, this means any restaurant that you make a reservation at and is a sit-down dining experience where a waiter will serve your food. Now, a table service credit means that for breakfast, you're entitled to 1 entree and a beverage. For lunch and dinner, you'll get an entree, a dessert, and a beverage. In some cases, if you don't have a sweet tooth, you can swap out dessert for a soup or salad. Now that varies from restaurant to restaurant as well, so I would double check with the server for more details. Now your magic numbers at table service restaurants are 41 for adults and 15 for kids. You may think $41 is a little steep, especially if you don't drink alcohol. But let's look at a restaurant like 50's Primetime Cafe at Hollywood Studios. Working backwards, you'll see that all of the desserts range from $7 to $10. Let's use an average of $8 and subtract that from 41. You're left with $33. A regular soda is $3.99, so subtract that from our total, and you're left with $29. Most of the entrees here are between $20 and $27, so you'll have to go for something a little bit more expensive to break even at $41 after taxes. But if you get a glass of wine or a specialty milkshake as your beverage, you'll certainly be saving some money on the dining plan. Milkshakes here are around $9, and drinks will easily start at $10. And if that doesn't satisfy you, check out the kids' meal. This is when you start to notice that kids can potentially save a lot more on the dining plan than the adults. Again, that magic number for kids at a table service restaurant is $15. Looking at the same menu, most kids' meals are $10 or $11. If you order a simple fountain drink, add $3 to that. So you're already at $13 total, and you still haven't even hit dessert. So if a kid goes for a specialty drink, an entree, and a dessert, they will almost always save some money. So if the adults are worried that they won't quite hit those magic numbers, remember that kids almost always certainly will, and that balances out the whole thing. But the best use of a table service credit is definitely at a character meal. Take a look at something classic like Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary. Breakfast and brunch cost $44 for adults and $26 for kids. Already, you're getting your money's worth at this specific location. If you opt for a character meal for dinner, then you really start stretching the use of that credit. At Chef Mickey's, adults will normally have to pay $54 and the kids will have to pay $32. But then you get some curveballs. Not all character meals are treated the same. Case in point, Garden Grill, located inside the Land Pavilion at Epcot. This restaurant will normally cost $38 for adults and $24 for kids at breakfast. This means that the adults are not really saving any money, but look at the price for the kids. Out of pocket, you're gonna pay $26 to eat here. The standard dining plan for a kid costs about the same amount per night. And with that, you get 1 table service credit, a quick service credit, and 2 snacks, all for the same amount of money. Now, if you're on the deluxe dining plan, your meal credit is worth a whole lot more. If you opt for this top-tier dining plan, your meal credit at a table service restaurant will get you an entree, a dessert, a beverage, as well as an appetizer. So, not only are your meal credits interchangeable between quick service and table service, you will physically get more food when you use them at the sit-down restaurants. Now, table service meal credits can also be used at signature restaurants, but those locations are worth 2 credits instead of just 1. Some of these locations include Cinderella's Royal Table at the Magic Kingdom, or dinner shows like the Luau at the Polynesian, and my favorite, the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review at Fort Wilderness. I think the question if it's worth using 2 credits at signature restaurants is a really tough one to answer. That really depends on your specific itinerary and what other restaurants you do alongside a signature restaurant. But I will tell you this, if you're on that deluxe dining plan, when you get 3 meal credits per night, using those credits at places like Cinderella's could really make some Disney dreams come true. And this is why this specific episode will launch a whole new series here at Beyond the Kingdoms. In the coming months, I'll be breaking this down a little bit further and studying where the best places to use the dining plan can be found. I hope to do episodes like looking at the best character meals on the plan, the best table service restaurant in Epcot, for example, and where it's really worth using those 2 meal credits on signature restaurants. And if you're still questioning if the dining plan is right for you, remember that sometimes you can snag a promotion where the dining plan is free. For example, back in April, Disney came out with this year's free dining plan promotion. To get the free dining plan, you had to purchase a non-discounted package for at least a 5-night stay. This means you had to purchase a hotel along with tickets that have the park hopper option. You had to book it by July 7th and travel between August 20th and September 29th, as well as November 24th through the 27th. But there were some restrictions in terms of which meal plan you could get. Select deluxe hotels offered the standard Disney dining plan for free, and select moderate and value hotels offered the quick service dining plan for free. This is just one example, and these exact terms and conditions may not fit the bill for everyone. But every year around late April, Disney releases details on their free dining promotion. So mark your calendars now if you're interested in booking a trip for late summer and fall of 2019. So, for a recap, the Disney dining plan can be well worth your money if you use it wisely. To really make the dining plan worth it, remember certain key tips. For snack credits, go for the $5 mark or higher. Snack credits can also be used at Epcot festivals. Remember your magic numbers when it comes to quick service and table service credits. And remember that breakfast is usually not worth a meal credit, especially when it comes to quick service restaurants. But character meals are certainly a fantastic use of table service credits. But that will have to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed my in-depth look at the Disney dining plan. I know that it's a really popular topic that I covered in the past, but I hope this new updated version tackles the concept a little bit better. If you've got questions and answers, please feel free to leave a comment below. But until next time, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.